What's up, Crypto Crew, and welcome back. Or if this is your first time, I'm Captain Crypto Mite, actively escaping the matrix, scoping out the crypto ocean. So if you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt.
Into the boat!
Crypto Crew, Kaspa originator Jonathan Sompolinski gave a talk on mining the internet last week at Tokenized LDN in London. We're still patiently waiting for high-quality footage, but some Caspians have already done their due diligence to extract the key points from Jonathan's presentation. Shout out to Gadi Glickberg for creating an excellent explainer video that helps the Kaspa community grasp the main insights from Jonathan Sompolinski's latest talk. Stay tuned, Crypto Crew.
Show me.
Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Before we start today's vid, Crypto Crew, always remember to keep your Kaspa coins, Bitcoins, and crypto investments safe by practicing self-custody. In our opinion, the Tangem wallet is your best option, and Tangem has extended their Black Friday special until December 9th. 30% off plus $10 in Bitcoin. Just add code BF2025 to code CryptoCrew to avail. Thanks so much for your consideration and support in advance, and may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you all.
What other cryptocurrency should you buy? What's the next Bitcoin? Well,
Crypto Crew, at the making of this recording, Bitcoin still is the granddaddy of all crypto, but we do know what BTC is not. A digital or electronic peer-to-peer cash system. This gap, the void Bitcoin left, became the fertile ground from which Kaspa was born.
You know, in crypto, there's this massive gap between the clean, perfect math of the blockchain and the messy, chaotic reality of the real world. It's a huge problem. Today, we're going to look at how Kaspa is trying to solve this by, basically mining the internet itself using this really powerful idea called real-time decentralization.
Much respect for the people behind Bitcoin, because Kaspa wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for projects like BTC. Now, when I saw Jonathan's title, Mining the Internet, I remembered what Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey, a Bitcoin maxi for over a decade and a half, mentioned not too long ago about having an internet token.
I encountered alt cypherpunks when I was fairly young, and this was a topic of discussion for years. I didn't touch it until 2008 when we started Square. Elon and teams at X and PayPal inspired a lot of what we were trying to do, trying to bring in more to a physical world, but we encountered this crazy predatory system that was slow, that was obtuse. You know, one of the things that we tried to do, which X and PayPal also tried to do, is build an abstraction layer around this complication and around this predatory nature that the financial industry can tend to be, and make it work for people. But when I saw Bitcoin in 2009, you see a chance to replace the whole foundation. And everything that Elon was talking about in terms of ACH and the credit card networks were built with very different agendas in a very different time frame. And it's crazy that they still exist and they have scaled, but they just are not relevant to today. And they're certainly not relevant to the future, especially when you consider the entire world. So if the internet gets a chance to get a native currency, what will that be? And to me, it's Bitcoin because of those principles, because of that creation story, because of its resilience, because of the number of tests it's been. What inspires me the most is just the community driving it. It just reminds me of the early internet. It's the only reason that I have a career, because I learned so much from people who are building Bitcoin today. And I continue to learn in that sense. And I'm so grateful for it.
Crypto Crew, we gotta admire Jack Dorsey for his passion for Bitcoin. That said, Bitcoin doesn't have the capacity nor technology in 2025 and into the future to actually be an internet token, and that is exactly where Kaspa comes in.
So to really get why this is such a potential game changer, we first have to understand this deep split in the crypto world. There are basically two completely different ways of thinking about what a blockchain is even supposed to be. This picture just nails the problem perfectly. On the left, you've got what's called an ant mill. It's this perfectly ordered, closed loop, but ultimately it's just going in circles. It's an island. Then look at the right. You have the ant bridge. Now it's messy, it's chaotic, but it's actually connecting to something real. So the big question becomes, do we want blockchains to be these perfect, isolated islands, or should they be bridges to the real world? And this brings us to these two different schools of thought. First, you have the cryptographers. They're the antmill people. They live in a world of perfect math and absolute truth inside the system. But then you've got the distributed systems researchers. They're the bridge builders. They're the ones working on that much messier, more fragile problem of actually connecting the blockchain to events happening out there. And here's the kicker. As Kaspa's founder, Jonathan Sompalinsky, puts it, just staying isolated in that world of pure math is a spiral of death. Think about it. A system can be perfectly secure, but if it's completely cut off from the real-world events that actually give it value, it's basically a dead end. So this isn't just some philosophical debate, right? It has very, very real consequences. Let's look at a practical problem this creates for anyone trying to manage their money in crypto. Just imagine you're a liquidity provider. You know for a fact that a massive SEC announcement is about to drop, and it's going to send the market flying one way or the other. You can't be asleep at the wheel. You want your portfolio to react instantly, automatically, and this is the important part, without having to trust some centralized company. So how in the world do you do that? The dream scenario would be this fully automated 5-step flow. First, you define your strategy. Then you delegate it to some decentralized system that's just constantly watching the internet for that specific news. The second it spots it, it needs to get a near instant agreement from the network that, yep, this is real. And finally, it automatically rebalances all your assets for you. And all of this has to happen in the blink of an eye with no middleman. And this really just illustrates the goal perfectly. It's a dead simple if-then statement for your money. If this news happens, then do this trade. It sounds so simple, but actually making this happen in a decentralized, real-time way has been the holy grail. This exact problem is what Kaspa was built from the ground up to solve. And their solution is a brand new concept they call real-time decentralization. To put it simply, it's giving the blockchain the ability to ask thousands of people all over the world, hey, did this thing just happen? And to get a trustworthy majority rules answer almost instantly. We're talking literally within the time it takes for a signal to bounce across the internet and back. At the end of the day, the entire system comes down to one thing. The whole game is just about speed. How fast can you pull the network and get a sample size so big that you can be absolutely certain the majority opinion is the honest one? This is where Kaspa's whole design gets really, really clever. It basically weaponizes speed, not just for faster transactions, but as a way to create trust in information from the outside world. So imagine that huge SEC announcement just dropped. What happens on the network in that very next second? In that first second, 10 new blocks are mined. Now, the miners who find those blocks, they also get to cast a vote. Green if they saw the news and they think it's true, red if they think it's false. In this case, we get a 7-3 majority for green. Now, that seems like a pretty clear signal, but is it enough to bet your entire portfolio on? With a tiny sample size of just 10 votes, you're looking at about a 94.5% confidence that the green side is the honest one. And that's high, but it still means there's a 1 in 20 chance that a dishonest minority just got really lucky, found a bunch of blocks, and is trying to trick the system. And when your money's on the line, that's probably not a risk you're willing to take. So now, let's crank up the speed. What happens if we accelerate the network by 10 times to 100 blocks per second? Now we're talking. In just half a second, you get a flood of 50 votes. And the result is a total landslide, 44-6. This isn't just a small statistical sample anymore. This is a clear, undeniable signal from the network. The sheer volume of votes just makes it incredibly hard to argue against. At this kind of speed, your confidence just shoots up to basically 100%. The probability that a small group of attackers could generate that many blocks that quickly becomes statistically impossible. You have literally achieved trust in real time. So the real key takeaway here is that this kind of real-time trust is something that's uniquely possible with a super high-speed proof-of-work system where all the miners are constantly competing. It lets you get this rapid, super detailed sample of the entire network. And crucially, it separates the act of voting really fast from the final decision, which makes the whole thing extremely hard to manipulate. So how does this one core technical advantage turn into a strategy for the entire ecosystem? Well, it creates this really powerful self-reinforcing cycle of growth. This is the Kaspa flywheel. And it all starts with that core value, the unique ability to act on events from the normal Web 2 internet in real time. That capability is like a magnet, just pulling in users and assets that need that kind of zero latency automation. So as developers start building things like automated trading bots or decentralized insurance protocols or other real-time apps, more users and their money get drawn to Kaspa. This, in turn, increases the network's value and security, which then makes it an even more attractive platform for the next wave of developers and users. You see, it's a powerful, compounding cycle of growth. And this all brings us to one final, really thought-provoking question. Once a decentralized system can reliably listen to and react to any event on the public internet in real time with trust, what new possibilities does that unlock? What happens next?
Again, shout out to Gadi Glickberg for this explainer vid. Hopefully you've got the gist of Jonathan Sampolinski's vision. Hopefully we'll get to see some footage from Jonathan's talk at Tokenized LDN 2025 soon.
Guess you guys aren't ready for that yet.
Now, before we wrap up, Crypto Crew, if you're looking for a pro Kaspa crypto exchange with tight security, even during the historic crash in October 2025, and no KYC requirements, Blowfin could be a perfect fit for you. Take advantage of 0 fees on limit orders and enjoy 50% off market order fees during Free Spot December. Don't miss out, Crypto Crew. This event ends on December 31st. Check out the link in the description box below. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good.
Stick around.
Fix your mind before you get to the grind. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next big thing here on the crypto ocean. Grow in grace, and let's make some crypto waves. Say I.